Welcome to the YouTube Christian channel, Freedom from Darkness to Deliverance. This is a ministry dedicated to healing, hope, and heartfelt ministry. I want to share with you today a story about a young man in Lubbock, Texas, who became a Satanic priest after attending church. This is Josh's journey from a Satanic priest to a servant of God. Even those who once served darkness can become mighty warriors for the kingdom of light. But sometimes we have to go through a lot of changes to get to where we need to be molded and shaped into what God would have us to be. In today's world, many build their lives on unstable foundations, seeking identity, purpose, and acceptance in places that cannot sustain them. They chase after promises of fulfillment and ultimately leave them empty. Well, Josh's story is a striking example of someone who followed the wrong path in his search for belonging and found redemption in the most unexpected place. Let me share with you his story. Josh grew up in a middle-class family. His parents tried to instill values of faith and meaning, but he felt pressured into a mold that didn't fit. Drawn to hard rock music, he began absorbing the dark themes woven into its lyrics. Slowly, his worldview shifted, opening the door to a deeper spiritual confusion. At a concert, Josh met someone involved in a Satanic religious group. Though he initially declined invitation to their gathering, curiosity took root. Eventually, he attended a meeting. Despite his reservations, he convinced himself he had finally found a place to belong. Josh, being a smart young man, quickly rose through the ranks of this ministry. He became a priest, administering oaths, participating in blood rituals, and recruiting others into what he called the family of Satan. His leadership was admired, but beneath the surface, Josh felt hollow. Even in power, he was still searching. Though deeply entrenched in darkness, Josh never fully severed ties with his parents. One day he accepted their invitation to attend church once again with them. That Sunday the preacher spoke from Revelation 27 to describe Satan as the great deceiver of nations. Josh left enraged, plotted to return the next week, and killed the preacher. The following Sunday, Josh entered the church with the loaded gun hidden in his jacket. But as the preacher spoke again, this time about Satan's final defeat and the fire from heaven, Josh began to truly listen. The words pierced his heart. He later described feeling something shift inside him as the preacher spoke of Satan's destruction. Slowly, Josh removes his hand from the weapon. Tears welled up. He realized he had spent his life serving the ruler of darkness and leading others into deception. But God wasn't finished with him yet. As the sermon ended, Josh stood and walked to the front of the church. With tears streaming down his face, he shared his testimony. The congregation sat in stunned silence as he confessed his past and declared his desire to return to God. That day, Josh rededicated his life to Christ. He turned away from the kingdom of darkness and stepped into the light of God's grace. No longer bound, he had finally come home. Today, Josh is a transformed man. He discovered a scene of work and purpose that deception could never offer, and now, with the same passion he once used to serve evil, he leads others into the truth of God's love. Josh's story reminds us that no one is beyond redemption. No matter how far someone has strayed, God's grace can reach them. Even those who once served darkness can become mighty warriors for the kingdom of light. I have some questions I want to ask you. Have you ever sought acceptance or identity in a place that left you empty? What influence music, media, relationships might be shaping your spiritual direction right now? How does Josh's story challenge your view of God's ability to redeem anyone? Are there people in your life who seem to go too far? How can you pray for their return? What would it look like to use your past experience to lead others towards God? Well, if you have these questions and you have a desire, if Josh's story stirred something in you, I invite you to visit my channel. I'll say that again. I invite you to visit our channel, a digital sanctuary where stories of redemption, healing, and hope come alive. Whether you're searching, struggling, or simply curious, there's a place for you here. Let's rock this road together to strive and become part of the community where grace has the final word. God bless you.